If you are looking to build a new gaming PC in 2025, you came to the right place, because in this video I'll show you the best PC build at different price points. Going through a budget PC for under $1,000 that destroys console gaming. Then we have a mid-range one that will give you very high FPS at 1440p resolution, and of course a high-end PC that will give you excellent performance at 4K ultra settings. The links to these PC builds will be down below in the video description with the latest prices and availability in your region. My name is Valentino. That being said, let's start. With the first one we have the budget system. This is going to be the cheapest one on the list for under $1,000, and it has the Ryzen 5 7600 processor, which is one of the best value CPUs in the entire market. This CPU will allow you to play any esports game that you want at 240 plus FPS on average, so feel free to buy a 240Hz 1080p monitor. And then for the graphics card, which is a really important component for gaming, you get the Intel Arc B580, which is the latest and greatest best value graphics card in the entire market. With this graphics card you can play high demanding titles at 1440p with no issues. If you want to play at 60 plus FPS in high demanding games at 1440p, you can do so, or maybe you eventually upgrade to 1440p resolution down the line, but right now you stay at 1080p. And yes, I'm talking about games like Cyberpunk 2077, The Last of Us Part 1, games that are very high demanding. Now, I'm very aware that the Intel Arc B580 is not in stock anywhere. As an alternative, if you can't find it in stock by the time of filming, which by the way, the link will be down below in the video description as I said before, then I recommend you getting the RX 7600 XT from AMD. This is going to be a bit more expensive, and instead of spending $250 for the Intel graphics card, you will be spending around $315 for the AMD graphics card, and it will provide similar gaming performance. So in terms of value, it's not as good, but you have to be in mind that at least this one is in stock, and the B580 hasn't been in stock for a long time now. With the 7600 XT, you can also expect very fast performance at 1080p, and you can also play at 1440p 60 plus FPS on average in high demanding titles. Then you get 32 GB of DDR5 memory, which is ideal for streaming. So if you want to do streaming or content creation on the side, this is going to be perfect. And this system overall is very upgradable over time, because let's say down the line you want to upgrade your CPU from this Ryzen 5 to the fastest CPU in the entire market, you can do so without having to change the motherboard. Then you get a 1TB SSD and a Montec Air 100 ARGB case, which I absolutely love. It has 4 pre-installed RGB fans, really good build quality. I have built a PC in this case before, and trust me, it's one of the best looking cases for the price that you can get. The price for this system is going to be around $850 or $900 if you go with the RX 7600 XT from AMD instead. Both PCs are very powerful for the price that you're paying. Now, if you have more money to spend, then I recommend you getting the next one, which is the best value 1440p gaming PC build in this entire list. The reason why this one is the best value is because for the graphics card you get the RX 7800 XT, which is one of the best graphics cards for 1440p resolution gaming, especially for the price. In terms of gaming performance, you can play any game that you want at 1440p high to ultra settings with no issues. In fact, you can achieve 90 plus FPS when it comes to 1440p in high demanding games. If you have a 1080p monitor, you can also use this system and achieve very high FPS, and it is also 4K ready. Now, it's not going to be the flashiest, best and fastest 4K PC out there, so if you want to play at 4K, I recommend you playing games that are not very high demanding, or at least I recommend you turning on FSR, which is the upscaler technology from AMD, if you will be playing these high demanding games. Anyway, for the rest of the components, you get the same Ryzen 5 7600 processor, because you compare this CPU with most graphics cards in the entire market, which is awesome for the price that you're paying. And then I changed the case to the Fractal Design Pop Mini Air, which is a very high quality case. And then I also upgraded the power supply to a 750 watt one to have more wattage in case you want future upgrades in your GPU or CPU. For the rest, you still get a 1TB SSD and 32 GB of DDR5 memory, so you will be getting an amazing level of streaming performance or content creation. And then if you want to go with Nvidia instead of AMD, then I recommend you getting the RTX 4070 Super. However, this will cost you about $100 more, so keep that in mind. If you want to go Nvidia, you will be spending more money. But also the 4070 Super is slightly faster for gaming than the 7800 XT and has the Nvidia technologies such as DLSS or a better level of ray tracing in case you care about that. That being said, if you go with Nvidia, the price for this is system will be around $1,230, which is still pretty good for a 1440p value gaming PC. And if you go with the 7800 XT from AMD, the total price will be around $1,115 which is a very good price for a 1440p ultra gaming PC. And then if you have more money to spend, I recommend you getting the next one on the list, which is the fastest 1440p gaming PC that you can get, in my opinion, in terms of price to performance. And then you can also play at 4K with no issues. And I'm talking about 4K high to ultra settings in high demanding titles. The reason why this system is so amazing when it comes to 1440p and 4K is because the graphics card is the RX 7900 XT, which is one of the fastest AMD GPUs in the entire market. Alongside this graphics card, I changed the CPU from the Ryzen 5 7600 to the Ryzen 7 9700X, which is one of the latest CPUs from AMD, and it has 8 cores. Now, this CPU and GPU combo will allow you to play at 1440p maxed out settings in any game, even in the most high demanding titles out there. And then if you want to play at 4K, you will be playing at around 70 plus FPS on average. But if you turn on FSR, which as I mentioned before is the upscaler from AMD, you will be achieving higher FPS, and the average will be around 80 to 90 plus FPS depending on the game and depending on the settings. Regardless, this is an amazing level of gaming performance, considering that we are talking about high demanding games at 4K ultra settings, and especially considering that the price is not too high. I will talk about the price in just a second, but I also want to say that this PC has 2TB of SSD, so you get more storage to install more games or programs. Then you get a more capable CPU cooler for this Ryzen 7 9700X, a more premium quality motherboard, and a more premium quality case in the Lian Li Landcool 207. This is one of the best price to performance cases in the entire market at the moment. I absolutely love the design, and also it has a very good price. Now, the total price for this system will be around $1,560, and if you want to go with Nvidia instead of AMD, once again, you should go with the RTX 4070 Ti Super graphics card, which will provide about the same level of rasterize performance as the RX 7900 XT, but again, you get the Nvidia technologies. So if you want a better level of ray tracing, or you want to use DLSS at 4K or 1440p resolution in the most high demanding games, then the 4070 Ti Super will be a better option for you, but in that case it will be quite more expensive, and the total price will be around $1,727 by the time of filming, so quite more expensive than the 7900 XT, but it is a better overall graphics card, so it's up to you whether you want to go Nvidia or AMD. And also keep in mind that the price might be different when you are watching this one, so I do recommend you checking the latest prices and availability from the links in the description. And then if you want to play at 4K ultra settings, I recommend you getting the next one on the list, especially if you want to play at 4K ultra with no FSR or DLSS enabled. This PC is the exact same PC as the last one, but instead of the 4070 Ti Super or the 7900 XT, you get the RX 7900 XTX. The XTX is the fastest graphics card from AMD in the entire market, and you can play at 4K ultra settings with no issues. In fact, you can average 90 plus FPS when it comes to 4K ultra in the most high demanding games. And if you want to play esports shooters, you can expect over 240 plus FPS in competitive settings at 4K, so feel free to buy a 240Hz 4K monitor, or if you want to play at 1440p, you can easily fit a 360 or 480Hz 1440p one. The total price for this 4K ultra gaming system is under $1,800, which is expensive, but it's definitely not the most expensive system that you can get in this market. Now, past this price point, I do recommend you waiting until the RTX 5080 and 5090 come out, but if you don't want to wait, I will leave bonus PCs down in the video description for the fastest gaming PCs in case you want to spend more, and I will also leave the best value esports PC in case you want to play at 500 plus FPS on average at a cheaper price point. So if you want to spend more, or if you want the best value esports systems, check those out down in the video description. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.